Hi everyone, it's Liz Murphy again, here to give you this month's CASA tip of the month. And as usual, I'm going to give you some legal tips. Since we've rolled in a new year, January 1, 2018 marks the beginning of some new laws in California. So I'm just going to quickly, in this 3 minutes, go over what a few of those are for you. First of all, the Ban the Box legislation. Ban the Box legislation means that you're no longer allowed to ask criminal history information on an employment application form. Now, there are exceptions to this rule if it's for a position that either the state or the employer has to conduct a criminal background check. But if you're not subject to those exceptions, then generally speaking, you should remove the question from your employment application form about whether the applicant has a criminal history. You may ask the question later on in the process after a conditional offer of employment has been made. Next change is salary history information. You're no longer allowed to ask applicants what their salary history is, and that includes their benefits information. So if you have a question on your employment application form that asks for salary history, please remove it. If the applicant volunteers the information to you, you're allowed to use it, but if they don't volunteer it, you're not allowed to ask it. So another revision that's necessary to your employment application forms. Also, transgender individuals, gender identity, and sexual orientation, specific new regulations protecting those people against discrimination. Also, your mandatory training that happens every 2 years for managers now has to include those topics as well. And I want to show you another poster that you have to put up now. It's the Transgender Rights in the Workplace poster. Here's a copy of it. You can get this on the DFEH's website. Make sure that is posted. So that's another requirement. And of course, we have increases in minimum wage. Minimum wage is now for employers with 26 or more employees is $11 an hour. For 25 or fewer, it's $10.50. And that means for those of you who have salaried exempt professionals, remember their minimum salary requirement has to be twice minimum wage. So if you do the math, that minimum has now gone up to $45,760 for employers with 26 or more, and $43,680 for those of you with 25 or fewer. So make sure you're keeping up with minimum wage requirements. The other thing is there's another new poster that's required. You're supposed to give people notification of their rights if they have been the victims of domestic violence. That's what the poster looks like. Also available on the handy dandy DFEH's website. So those are a few things to keep in mind. Make sure that you are always paying people properly. You want to make sure you're paying minimum wage and overtime. For caregivers, that's after 9 hours and 40 hours a week. And that's just my quick summary of the new laws for 2018. Have a great year.